Here, take this. It's called the Heart-Winning Harp.
Ni No Kuni Wrath of the White Witch has proven to be a wonderful addition to the monster taming genre, and whilst the Pokemon games remain the most recognisable example of monster taming to Western audiences, Ni No Kuni offers a different flavour. It has an unchanging creature compendium that is manageable in size, since updates are highly unlikely at this point, an interesting metamorphosing system, and very creative creature designs. I will never understand why the monster taming element of Ni No Kuni was abandoned for Revenant Kingdom. Anyways, one thing I have noticed is that each familiar tends to fall into one of 4 categories despite not being organised this way in the game: attackers, healers, spellcasters, and tanks. Today I want to focus on healer familiars that can provide valuable support, particularly under the command of whichever party member considers that genus type its favourite. I will be mentioning the familiar's astral signs and genus types, but don't worry if you don't understand the significance of these yet. I will be doing videos very soon on familiar classifications, so if you're an aspiring familiarologist and are not subscribed to the channel, now is a fantastic time to do so. I have so much Ni No Kuni content in the works, it's very exciting. Anyways, with that being said, I'm Heather, and here are 5 of the best healer familiars in Ni No Kuni. My first entry is Drongo and its subsequent forms. Drongo is a deceptively peaceful bird-like creature with a decorative plume on its head that comes from the Aves genus family, making it naturally resistant to sleep but vulnerable against blindness. Falling under the moon astral sign means that Drongo has a 5% resistance to confusion and water attacks, and can deal an additional 20% damage against star sign familiars. Unfortunately, being a moon sign also means they will receive 20% extra damage when pitted against sun sign familiars. Drongo is first introduced as Esther's starter familiar and is fortunately one of the best healers in the game. At level 1, Drongo comes with the healing tear trick which recovers HP, only costs 4 MP to trigger, and has a fast 2-second cooldown rate. As terrible as the AI can be in this game, Esther is great at healing commands, and you will find that having Drongo under Esther's command means that you will often be healed automatically, which is a nice passive perk instead of having to switch characters. Drongo also gains the See Sense trick at level 11, which removes confusion, and similarly is quick to cast and has a fast cooldown. Although Drongo is viewed as a generally calm familiar, it comes with powerful storm magic and water-based attacks. According to the Wizard's Companion, Drongo does not enjoy fighting, but when angered can release powerful attacks. At level 1, Drongo has the Thunderspark move, which inflicts storm damage and has a 5% chance of confusing the target. The trick Splish Splash is a level 16 attack which inflicts water damage onto a single foe. It only costs 7 MP and has a 2.5-second cooldown. Couple these fast cooldown healing and attack tricks with Drongo's early growth rate and high magic attack and defense stats, you have yourself a strong familiar with excellent potential. Strangely, Drongo's miracle move is Ice Age, which causes water damage to all foes on the battlefield. Why Drongo's miracle move isn't a storm attack, I will never know, considering that all the descriptions of this creature in the game state that it can unleash a powerful electric blast when enraged, but oh well. The miracle move carries over to all of Drongo's later forms alongside the resistances and vulnerabilities that are attached to the Aves genus. Drongo can metamorphose into its second form Strongo as early as level 14. Strongo gains the Healthy Glow trick at level 11, which is an improved version of Healing Tear, therefore costs slightly more MP to trigger and has a 5-second cooldown. The level 35 trick Crosswind is a much more powerful storm attack than Thunderspark, as it inflicts storm damage against a line of foes and consequently costs 27 MP to use. Crosswind also takes longer to cool down at 12 seconds, which is considerably more MP and a longer recharge time than Thunderspark. Strongo also has the level 26 Hocus Focus support trick, which increases a single ally's magic attack by 35% for 30 seconds. And finally, a water-based trick called Bubble Bath that deals water damage across foes in an arc formation. Despite Strongo's ability to reach a maximum level of 52, players can choose between 2 final forms when Strongo reaches a minimum of level 34. You can choose between Electrongo, an attack familiar that focuses on storm and water attacks above healing, or Florongo, the final form that focuses on healing and support. Although I prefer the cuddly design of Electrongo over the fugly unibrow Florongo, the latter is definitely the form you should choose if you want your familiar to be a healing powerhouse. Florongos have a wealth of very useful healing abilities. The Rise and Shine trick removes sleep from a single ally at a cost of only 3 MP. The Ray of Light trick recovers HP and removes all status ailments, except unconsciousness, from the caster. And the Lease of Life trick joins its HP recovering arsenal. One unique ability that Florongo has that sets it apart from its predecessors is its Twinkle Twinkle trick, which inflicts light-based damage across all foes. It costs a hefty 32 MP to use and has a long cooldown, so it's best to reserve this trick for when you really need it. Florongo retains the Thunder Spark and Healthy Glow tricks, whilst gaining some new storm-based tricks in the form of Wind Tunnel and Short Circuit, the latter being the strongest and comes with a 50% chance to confuse the target. Florongo can be maxed out at level 99 and cannot be tamed in the wild, just like the Electrongo. So the only way to get it is to metamorphose a Strongo. Note that it's easier to find and tame a Drongo than a Strongo. They can be found on Swan Island and have a 6% chance of being tamed, whereas Strongos can be found north of the Winter Isles and have just under a 5% chance of being recruited to the team. Moving on to my next entry, the Lagoon Naiad and its other forms is a fantastic healer and was featured in my top 5 best familiars video. Like the Drongo, Lagoon Naiad can be picked up as part of the main questline and can become a fantastic healer when nurtured.
Wow, it's beautiful!
Upon completing the Temple of Trials, you can choose between 3 familiars, Shonky Honker, Boggly Boo and Lagoon Naiad. I always advise people to pick Lagoon Naiad because the other 2 familiars on offer can be tamed in the areas you will soon have access to anyway. Lagoon Naiad falls under the Sun Astral sign, which grants it a 5% resistance to sleep and fire attacks, and it can deal 20% extra damage to Moon sign familiars. Note that if you save before choosing it at the Temple of Trials, you can keep reloading the save until you get a double Sun sign familiar, sometimes called Twin Sun. This doubles its resistances and adds an additional 10% damage to Moon signs. Lagoon Naiads derive their healing abilities from a magical stone that they carry. According to all that is written about the Naiad, this imbued gem vanishes when the owner dies. What happens to the gem is a mystery. Anyways, you won't come across Lagoon Naiad in the wild until you gain Sea Cow, since it resides on Friday Island. Being a member of the Nymphi genus family means that they have a natural resistance to Nyx attacks and are vulnerable against curses. Marcusson has an affinity with Nymphi familiars, so it's better to have Lagoon Naiad under his command. In case you didn't know, if you use a companion's favourite familiar genus in battle, that familiar has their abilities boosted by 10%, and this applies to all 4 companions. When it comes to tricks, the Lagoon Naiad comes with the Healing Tear trick at level 1 alongside Sea Stars, which inflicts physical damage on the target and has an 80% chance to cause confusion. The Lagoon Naiad has an early growth rate and high magical attack, magical defense and accuracy stats. However, having a stamina of 25 instead of the usual 30 plus means this familiar must be recalled from battle sooner than the average familiar. To counter this, the Naiad has a higher movement and attack speed than the average familiar, so it's really a trade-off. The Lagoon Naiad's miracle move is Rosy Glow, which recovers the HP of all allies and cures all status ailments apart from unconsciousness. The Lagoon Naiad's second form of Sea Naiad, of course, has improved healing tricks. The Healing Rain trick can be learnt at level 28, which restores HP to all allies instead of a single ally. Healing Rain costs 15 MP to use and has a slightly longer cooldown at 7 seconds, but it's worth it to recover everyone's HP at once. At level 8, Sea Naiad gains the Rise and Shine trick, which removes sleep, and the Sickly Spores support trick is gained at level 17 and has a 60% chance to poison the target. As great as Lagoon Naiad and Sea Naiad are, it's their final form Greater Naiad that is by far the best, since it has the ability to bring fallen party members back from unconsciousness using its level 18 Upsy Daisy trick. This trick is a must for anyone who wants a great healer in their party, and it will save you so much money on phoenix feathers. Just make sure you stock up on nostrum because the best tricks require a lot of MP. Upsy Daisy uses 15 MP, and the level 52 Auroralynx restores HP and cures ailments across all allies, but costs 38 MP. Although the alternative final form of the Naiad, the lesser spotted Naiad, is also a great healer, the Upsy Daisy trick alone make the greater Naiad superior. Although there are other arguably better familiars with the Upsy Daisy trick, the fact that you can get the Lagoon Naiad so early in the game is definitely a big plus. Next up is the stunning feline-esque healer called Auroralynx, which comes from the Arcana genus and can be found in the southern area of Billygoat's Bluff in western Autumnia with a 6% tame ability. Being part of the Arcana genus group means that not much is known about this mysterious creature. As such, the Auroralynx has no specified vulnerabilities or resistances linked to its genus, and no compatibility with any specific ally. According to the Wizard's Companion, nobody knows where Arcana familiars came from, or what type of life force spawned them. But one thing that we do know about Auroralynx is that it falls under the Moon astral sign, meaning it has a 5% resistance to confusion and water damage, and is strong against star astral sign familiars. Auroralynx can learn the Healing Tear trick at level 6 and the Healing Rain trick at level 18, one of the few first forms of a familiar to have both healing abilities pre-metamorphosis. It also has the support trick Purifying Pulse, which removes curses from a single ally. Couple these abilities with the New Dawn Miracle move that recovers HP for all allies and cures all status ailments apart from unconsciousness, and this familiar is very valuable from the get-go. Auroralynx has high movement and attack speeds, high HP and an early growth rate. Its maximum level is 32 and it can metamorphose into its second form Umbralynx as early as level 17. Umbralynx cannot be tamed and can't be found in the wild, so the only way to get one is to tame and transform an Auroralynx. The Umbralynx gains Healthy Glow at level 10, which recovers HP for a single ally, and the Rise and Shine trick at level 16 that removes sleep for a low amount of MP. Umbralynx has an eye on its forehead that is said to have the power of foresight, which is interesting, but it doesn't have any impacts on battles. What does have an impact on battles is the Crosswind trick that becomes available at level 27 and deals significant storm damage to foes. Umbralynx can metamorphose into one of two final forms at level 27 also. Players can choose between Astralynx and Dualynx, both of which have excellent healing abilities, new light-based tricks, and a maximum level of 70. The Dualynx is not tameable in the wild. However, the Astralynx can be found in the Ivory Tower, but has just a 3% chance of being tamed. Dualynx has 3 healing tricks. Healthy Glow is gained at level 9, followed by Light of Life at level 19, a fantastic trick that fully recovers the HP of a single ally. Aurora Borealis is gained at level 47, which restores HP and status ailments for all allies except unconsciousness. In addition to healing tricks, Dualynx has 2 support tricks and 1 light-based trick. The level 1 trick Purifying Pulse removes curses placed on a single ally. Mighty Light is gained at level 30 and inflicts light damage against all foes, and the support trick Shower Curtain increases all allies' magical defense by 50% for 30 seconds. Although I do enjoy the light and dark aesthetic of Dualynx, I believe that Astralynx is superior simply due to its ability to gain the Upsy Daisy trick at level 27. The ability to bring party members back from unconsciousness is the one thing that Dualynx lacks, and Astralynx fills that shortfall. Astralynx's healing abilities consist of Healthy Glow, Lease of Life and Second Wind, all of which restore HP at a lower cost to MP than Dualynx's tricks. Astralynx also comes with the Twinkle Twinkle trick that inflicts light-based damage. Which final form of Auroralynx you choose depends on whether you place higher value on being able to fully recover HP or being able to revive unconscious allies. My penultimate entry falls under the Flora genus and has a star astral sign. Due to this, Lumberwood and its other forms are vulnerable against curses, resistant to stun attacks, and have a natural affinity with Esther. The Lumberwood is large and burly, towering over most wizards, but are largely misunderstood creatures considering how peaceful they are as nature lovers with a tender heart. The Lumberwood has a very high defense stat, and its ability to inflict physical damage against foes can rival its excellent healing powers. This familiar can be found and tamed in No Longer Mine, located southwest of Autumnia, and has a 6% chance of being tamed. Lumberwood also has high stamina, low stamina recovery requirements, high HP and a defend command. In terms of tricks, the Lumberwood isn't that impressive with just the healing tear trick and sling stone attack, which inflicts physical damage to a single foe for 13 MP. Its miracle move, Groundswell, deals physical based damage to all foes and is carried over to Lumberwood's subsequent forms. Lumberwood can be metamorphosed into its second form Limberwood at level 8, which has the Healthy Glow trick and Sickly Spores, which has a 60% chance of poisoning a single foe. Limberwood also gains the Rockfall trick, which rains rocks down on enemies, dealing high physical damage to all foes on the battlefield. In terms of healing abilities, Lumberwood's second form isn't that impressive either. However, its final two forms are where the healing abilities start to impress. Players can choose between Umberwood, which gains the Healthy Glow, Healing Rain and Shower Curtain tricks, or Wildwood, which has Healthy Glow but also gains some Storm Magic and other impressive physical attacks. Wildwood has my favourite trick, Ear Splitter, at level 18, and the physical trick Haymaker can devastate enemies at a large cost of 41 MP. If you want your Lumberwood to become a tank, then it's best to choose Wildwood as its final form. However, Umberwood is the best final form for a healing tank. Umberwood has 3 powerful physical attacks to accompany its healing support tricks. Bellybuster is gained at level 13, a trick that it shares with the awesome Griffy familiar, and Stalagmites, which is a brilliant trick that deals heavy physical damage. Lumberwood's final forms have a stamina of 50, making it capable of fighting for a lot longer than the average familiar, and its very high defense stats means that when the chips are down and all allies are low on HP, you can count on Lumberwood and its other forms to still be standing and be able to heal everyone else whilst still being capable of continuing an offensive. My final entry is a frost-loving member of the Nobilia genus family that can only be gained from achieving rank S in the Solaceum series and cashing in the familiar ticket that you are awarded. Mandragorer cannot be found in the world. Nobilia familiars are proud creatures spoke of in myths and legends and shrouded in mystery according to the Wizard's Companion. What is known is that Mandragorer is a planet sign familiar, which makes it very special. Planet signs are strong against all other astral signs, deal 50% additional damage to twin planet familiars, and grants 5% additional experience. No party members favour Nobilia familiars, so Mandragorer does not have an affinity bonus with anyone. However, I understand the need to not make familiars too overpowered. This familiar comes with a level 1 Flame Fan trick, which inflicts fire damage to foes in an arc formation, and its miracle move Conflagration deals a hefty amount of fire damage to all foes. Obviously these are not healing abilities, but Mandragorer has an early growth rate and can be metamorphosed into its next form Mandragorer at level 3, since level 5 is Mandragorer's maximum level. Mandragorer gains the Restorer Aurora trick at level 3, which recovers the HP of all party members, and its massively boosted defense stat make it a good familiar to have in a battle when you encounter a tough opponent and don't want to exhaust all of your HP restoring provisions. Mandragorer is described as selfish and a hothead, but is strangely protective of allies due to its strong sense of honour. This familiar can metamorphose into its third form, Mandragorer, at level 3, which has high stamina and fast movement and attack speed compared to its previous forms. This is where its potential as the best healing familiar truly shines. Mandragorer has 4 tricks, 3 of which provide healing and support. Flame Fan and Restorer Aurora tricks carry over from its previous form, and the Upsy Daisy trick is gained at level 3, which, as previously mentioned, revives unconscious allies and is very valuable. Its final trick is Light Fantastic, gained at level 4, which increases a single ally's attack and magic attack for 30 seconds. This familiar has a 4th form called Tundragorer, which learns the physical attack Wallop at level 4 and Ray Gun trick at level 5, which deals heavy fire damage and consumes only 11 MP. This one is a short entry, but with all the things I have mentioned about Mandragorer and its other forms, it is clear that this familiar is a supreme healer. hence how it's only awarded to the very best rank S tamers who win the Solaceum series. So there's my pick of the top 5 best healer familiars in Ni No Kuni. I hope you enjoyed this list, and I just want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who watched my top 5 best familiars video and have continued to support the channel. As I mentioned earlier, now is a brilliant time to subscribe if you haven't already. I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded any Ni No Kuni related content, but there is a reason for that. We have something massive and exciting planned for the channel that will satisfy those who love Ni No Kuni and other similar games with a monster taming element. But shh, I'm not supposed to mention anything yet, it's a secret. Let me know if you agree with my list entries, or if you prefer to have any other familiars as your primary healer. I've been Heather at Amalgamingle, and thank you very much for watching.